Jarvis here. I'm doing the follow-up on the Bible video that I just uploaded. This pretty much from an evidentiary or more intellectual level. There's something that would appeal to the intellectuals, just some basic facts about the Bible. I'm going to be reading something I have here from carm.com, which is a great site for apologetics. For any Christians out there, you definitely need to be on that site. It's chock full of stuff. But anyway, I'm just going to read this. The Bible is still the world's bestseller, something I've said before, and has been translated into more than 1,400 languages. It was written over a period of 1,500 years by kings, statesmen, prophetics, intellects, and commoners. All 66 books of the Bible are uniquely in harmony and in agreement with each other. Inerrancy. In contrast to the fans of the Bible, critics looking for the fly speck in the masterpiece allege that there is a long span of time between the events recorded in the New Testament and the writing down of those events. They say another gap exists archaeologically between the earliest copies made from autographs of the New Testament. In reality, the alleged spaces and so-called gaps exist only in the minds of the critic. You tripping. Notice how other ancient books' text are no other ancient book is text is questioned or maligned like that of the Bible. Wonder why. For instance, Aristotle's Ode to Poetics was written between 384 and 322 BC. Our earliest copy of this work dates 1100 AD, and we find that there are only 49 extant manuscripts. Note that the gap between the original writing and the earliest copy is 1,400 years. A second example is Plato's tetralogies, written 427 through 347 BC. Our earliest copy is 900 AD, and there are only 7 extant manuscripts to the study. The gap between the original and the earliest copy is 1,200 years. What about the New Testament? Jesus was crucified in 30 AD. The New Testament was written between 48 and 95 AD. The oldest date to the last quarter of the first century, and the second oldest is 125 AD. This gives us a narrow gap of 35 to 40 years from the originals written by the apostles. From early centuries, we have some 5,300 Greek MSS, I'm not sure what MSS means, of the New Testament. Altogether, including Syriac, Latin, Coptic, and Aramaic, we have a whopping total of 24,633 texts of the ancient New Testament to confirm the wording of the New Testament scriptures. So the bottom line is there was no great time period between the events of the New Testament and the New Testament writings, nor is there a great lapse of time between the original writings and the oldest copies. This means that the great body of evidence, it can also be proved beyond a doubt that the New Testament says exactly the same things today as it originally did nearly 2,000 years ago. Now, you guys play that game telephone, where you start with one message, you go around the circle, and by the time you get to the end, it's a completely different message. Tell me how amazing that is. You don't have to admit it, I already know. 2,000 years ago, and the text hasn't changed. It has been translated, being that the languages I just mentioned to you are more descriptive type languages like Greek and Aramaic, which will take many words to apply to a phrase. Quite the opposite. We need many words to describe the phrases that are initially in Greek, in Aramaic, and in Hebrew. They're very descriptive languages. So those people are out there going, yeah, well, I look in the NIV and I see this, and then I look in the NASB and it has that. Or I've heard someone say regarding Satan in the Bible that he is depicted as a satyr. And I was like, what? There is not the one mention of the word satyr in the Bible is in Leviticus 17:7 or 17:11, and it's in reference to a false god. Get your facts straight. I said in the title of my last description that it's an accomplishment, yes, to read through the Bible, yes. I'm happy that you did read through the Bible. Start over. Look for understanding of what you're reading. Sponjaris. Peace.